Welcome to Express Tribune's 2 p.m. bulletin.
Pakistan is observing a day of national mourning for the victims of the Iranian helicopter crash. Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi, Foreign Minister Hossein Amir-Abdollahian, and 6 others had died in a helicopter crash in the country's northwest on May 19. The day of national mourning was declared by Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif in solidarity with Iran and its people. The national flag will fly at half-mast through the country today. The day of national mourning was declared by Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif.
A local Islamabad court has acquitted PTI founder Imran Khan in 3 cases, including the May 9th riots case. The acquittals also include a case related to violations of Section 144 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. The court also acquitted former federal ministers Sheikh Rashid and Faisal Javed, as well as several other PTI leaders in cases related to rioting and violating Section 144. The court's verdict stated that the evidence on record is not sufficient to prove the allegations against Imran Khan. It added that an accused cannot be deprived of their legal rights without a cause. Power distribution companies have proposed a tariff increase of up to 2.48 rupees per unit. The proposal cited a fuel charges adjustment of 3.488 rupees per unit for April 2024. The petitioner has also decided to make a backward adjustment of 3.06 billion rupees, after which the total amount goes down to 75.2 billion rupees or 8.98 per unit. US President Joe Biden has come to the defense of Israel, claiming that Israeli forces are not committing genocide in their military campaign against Hamas militants in Gaza. Biden made the comments at a Jewish American Heritage Month event at the White House. During the event, he stressed that Israel is the victim. He also emphasized that US support for Israel's safety and security is ironclad and vowed to continue trying to gain the release of sick, elderly, and wounded hostages still held by Hamas. The US president rejected the International Criminal Court's prosecutor's request for arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his defense chief over war crime allegations. Biden largely ignored the plight of Gazans, where Israel has killed more than 35,000 Palestinians, including women and babies. An Israel-imposed siege of Gaza has created dire humanitarian conditions in the territory and caused the displacement of the majority of its population.
Islamabad High Court Justice Mohsin Akhtar Kayani criticized the Inter-Services Intelligence for their perceived involvement in forced abductions and their overall role, accusing them of running the country rather than adhering to legal standards. This came during a hearing about the disappearance of Kashmiri poet Ahmad Farhad Shah, whose wife had petitioned for his recovery after he went missing a week earlier. Despite the ISI's denial of having information about Shah's whereabouts, there is significant public outrage and calls for the government to secure Shah's return and hold accountable those responsible. Shah, known for his progressive views and criticism of the government, is represented by lawyers Iman Mazari and Hadi Ali Chatta. The court directed the Ministry of Defense to submit a detailed report and ordered further investigation into ISI's involvement. The Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf has labelled the NA 148 Multan by-elections as fraudulent, heavily criticizing the Election Commission of Pakistan for tarnishing its own reputation. A PTI spokesperson thanked the constituents who supported their endorsed candidate, despite alleged significant legal and procedural violations. The party accused the elections of being rigged and called for an apology from Syed Yusuf Raza Gilani, the newly elected chairman of the upper house, for compromising the integrity of the vote. The PTI's grievances followed the victory of Pakistan People's Party's Syed Ali Qasim Gilani, the son of Yusuf Raza Gilani, over barrister Taimur Altaf. The Punjab Assembly passed the Punjab Defamation Bill 2024 amid strong opposition protests, who demanded the bill be revised for perceived constitutional conflicts. Critics labelled the law draconian, fearing it would parallel the judicial system and infringe on free speech. Despite opposition, Punjab Advocate General Khalid Ishaq defended the bill as a measure to curb false news by making accusers provide evidence. Following this, the Assembly passed a resolution expressing condolences for President Raisi. The session concluded with journalists and the Punjab Assembly Press Gallery boycotting the proceedings, and the Human Rights Commission of Pakistan criticizing the bill for potentially violating judicial norms and freedoms of expression. Due to severe impending heat wave forecasted to hit Punjab and other parts of Pakistan, The government of Punjab has announced the closure of all public and private schools from May 25th to May 31st. The Meteorological Department has predicted extreme temperatures, dust storms, and heavy rains in northern areas, prompting this precautionary measure. While schools will be closed, scheduled examinations will proceed with necessary safety precautions. Amidst these closures, the Punjab Disaster Management Authority and Health Department have issued heat wave advisories and preparedness measures, urging the public to avoid unnecessary outdoor activities and take protective steps during the peak heat wave period. During Yale University's graduation ceremony, hundreds of students staged a walkout in protest of the ongoing conflict in Gaza. The protesting graduates demanded a permanent ceasefire in Gaza, an end to U.S. military support for Israel, university divestment from companies profiting from the war, and amnesty for those disciplined for protesting. This protest at Yale is part of a larger wave of demonstrations at over 60 colleges and universities across the U.S., ignited by recent escalations in Gaza that have seen significant casualties. A team of 12 Chinese peacekeepers is set to depart for South Sudan on Wednesday, as announced by China's Ministry of Public Security. This marks the 10th deployment of a Chinese peacekeeping police unit to the United Nations mission in South Sudan. The deployment is the first since the easing of pandemic restrictions and reflects China's commitment to supporting and actively participating in UN peacekeeping efforts. China, a permanent member of the UN Security Council and the second largest contributor to peacekeeping operations, continues to demonstrate its role in global security through such initiatives. King Charles and Queen Camilla visited the Chelsea Flower Show at the Royal Hospital Chelsea in London, exploring a variety of innovative garden designs, including the No Adults Allowed Garden and the Bridgerton Garden. The RHS Chelsea Flower Show, held annually, features horticultural displays from around the world. This public appearance follows King Charles's return to royal duties after recovering from an unspecified form of cancer, diagnosed earlier this year following tests for an enlarged prostate.
Scarlett Johansson has accused OpenAI of using a voice eerily similar to hers for its ChatGPT 4.0 system named Sky. Johansson revealed she was approached by OpenAI CEO Sam Altman in September 2023 with the opportunity to lend her voice to the AI. However, she declined the offer due to personal reasons. 9 months later, Johansson was shocked to discover that the Sky voice in the released ChatGPT 4.0 demo sounded strikingly like her own. Feeling her likeness was exploited, Johansson has taken legal action demanding transparency and clarity on how OpenAI created the Sky voice. OpenAI has acknowledged the concerns and temporarily paused the use of the Sky voice.